Hello and welcome to Explorers Emporium. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about what Explorers Emporium does. We are more than just a game store. We do love our sciences. We do science classes with kids, students, and we also go to schools and do science programs. We certainly do love biology, dinosaurs of course, paleoanthropology. We also do history, so we'll do medieval and some of the ancient times. But today is all about trees. We're going to talk about planting a tree. The tree we're planting today is a valley oak. This will be my 6th tree that I have planted around this building. We're trying to, of course, cool off our building. We're using trees as a shade system. We're also hoping to, of course, create more oxygen, remove carbon dioxide from our air. So we are doing this today. You'll see that as I go through, we made a hole about 2 feet in size. Then I built this enclosure around where we're going to put the tree. The goal was to try to make it cooler for the tree. This is going to be a seedling. It's going to be pretty young. Most of the trees I put in have been a little bit older. So we're going to give this little tree a chance to get going and get growing. And then we also built an enclosure around that as we did the work. The best part of this, we are doing a planting in July in this case, end of July. And the temperature right now as I'm doing this is 104 degrees and it's the morning. Today's temperature will get to about 114. So we are doing a planting during the hot season. It's kind of an interesting thing here in Arizona. Where I come from, we plant in spring. In this case, if you do planting in spring in Arizona, that's when all the bugs are out. So they're looking to take advantage of all the younger seedling trees that don't have their defenses and their strengths up, and your seedlings can get killed. So you have to wait for the bug season to end, and then that's when you actually do your planting. So you probably saw the interesting rig that I took out for the PVC as I widened the hole. I wanted to move that PVC water system back a little bit as well. The water system is actually made to do underground watering, so deep watering, as well as sprinkler heads. So with the turn of a valve, I can move water down below, deeper into the root system. So as the tree gets older, it's going to appreciate having a much deeper watering system, so the roots can reach out and become much stronger as it settles in. So we are making the modifications. We are putting a little elbow system on there to rehook it back up. Little windy, but not too bad. We're ready to go. We're sneaking back over. Now we're going to put that water device back on there. As we're watching the video and the installation of the water pipes, the sprinkler system, I would also like to point at our notes at the bottom of this video. I'm also putting a link on there for the Arbor Day Foundation. It's kind of fun. I've been doing things with the Arbor Day Foundation for a while, although they probably wouldn't know it. 30 years ago, I would run recycle programs as part of our children's museum that we had built, and we do a recycle program where the kids would bring bottles and cans, and then we would take the money from the bottles and cans, and we would give it to the Arbor Day Foundation, and they were kind enough to send us a tree as a reward. So they would send us 100 trees that we would give to the kids, and then the classes that brought in the most recycled goods would get to have trees, and we would plant them with them. And so we would have these pine trees that we did. So I would like to recommend everybody take a moment, follow the link, and if you can donate to the Arbor Day Foundation, that would be a beautiful thing. Obviously, every dollar plants a tree. So if you can, please take a look at it. I am currently putting down Miracle-Gro soil. I've used this with a lot of my transplanting. Miracle-Gro soil has nutrients and of course any of the fertilizers and things like that to help with a soil that is especially difficult. This soil, if you saw the beginning of the video, I was using a jackhammer to break in through the ground. It's really that hard. They use a degenerated granite, and it gets really packed in, and when it's wet, it pretty much hardens almost to the point of concrete. So I had to use the jackhammer to break it up, and then what I do is I mix that broken up soil in with Miracle-Gro soil, so there's a mixture. And so between the two, you actually get a pretty good soil in the end. And then you just got to make sure you do composting and things like that as your tree gets older and older, so that the nutrients get into the soil and spread throughout the entire area, so that the tree can have healthy growth. So there's my little oak seedling. I'm putting it in the ground. It's adorable. And the trick is just to put the soil around it. Doesn't have to be overly packed in. You want to just make sure it's standing straight up, and it's getting a good mix of the soil that was there along with the Miracle-Gro that we put down in there. So we're just going to mix that soil in and set that tree up and get them all nice and safe and put into the dirt. By this time, the sprinkler system the glue should have been all hardened up and ready to go. We're just going to give a little packing in there, get that all good to go. And then you see the little white ring in the back there. That little white ring, we're going to put that around the tree, so that as we add compost soils and things like that, we don't want those soils moving up onto the tree's stump. So we want to keep that soil away. But having a little extra soil buildup in this hot weather that we get out here in Arizona, that little extra layer creates a cooling layer. So as the sun hits the top layer, it takes a little bit more to get down lower, so that way the roots don't overheat. So I'll put an extra 2 inches, 3 inches, and I'll keep that also with compost as the years go by. I'll keep a buildup there, and that'll help keep the root system cooler. And then it's just a matter of making sure you keep it watered. There we go, we're moving right along. This tree is on the north side of my building. It's a funny thing when you plant a tree like an oak tree. I'm a 60-year-old guy. I am hoping to see this tree grow up a little bit. So by the time it's maybe 10-15 feet tall, if all goes well. But this tree will get very tall. It'll get over 100 feet. It'll live for hundreds of years. So when you put a tree in like this, it's more than a lifelong tree. It's going to be something for many generations to follow. You can see now we're turned on the sprinklers. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the heads. All is going well. Make sure that's all good, and then you'll see me come in. This is actually a mixture of fungi that help the root system get established and bring moisture to them, and it's also a little bit of B1 to help the roots relax and help the transplanting process. There he is. Hey little guy, you're going to do great. That tree is doing extremely well. Pretty happy. Thank you for watching.